Hello guys, this is Terry from Yankee Gaming TV coming back at you with another Yokai Watch ShadowSide review. Today's episode, which is episode 25, Salaba Michi, or Farewell Michi. And I want to apologize first off for this being much later than normal. As I stated in my last video, I had a weekend-long class, or a 4-day-long massage class. It went well, but that's not why you're here. I just wanted to give you a background about why it's late. So let's dive into the meat and potatoes of Farewell Michi. Basically, Michi begins the episode by illustrating how Michi saves Natsume from insert form of evil here, and the rest of the cast kind of just bag on him, making Michi feel horrible. And Jibanyan and Koma-san draw their own version of the Michi story, and it turns out to be horrible. But as this is all going on, we're introduced to a yokai that is similar to Michi, which is Mitsumata Michi, which is another Michi type yokai. And the only reason I'm saying Michi-like is because it's basically a recolorization of Slimamander, but even that is okay. So we're just going to go on from that note here. Basically, Natsume and one of her friends decided that they were going to have a girls' day, or they were going to have a day where they just kind of hang out together. So she and her friend go to the mall, and basically Michi shows up everywhere. The first time Michi showed up, it was in the dressing room that Natsume was about ready to enter, and he's like, "Your knight is here," or something to that degree. So Michi just kept appearing as if you know that one person who photobombs in every single picture. It was even bad to the point where Michi was interfering with the people that were around Natsume. Like, he intentionally hit a guy in the back of the legs to make him fall down, and that upset Natsume very much. He stole a plushy charm keychain away from a little girl, replacing it with a Michi keychain, or a Slimamander style keychain, making the little girl cry, and that was not good, because Natsume had already kindly offered the little girl what Natsume herself had thought was kawaii or cute. So Natsume gives the little girl back the cute little charm keychain. So after this occurred, we also get to see that the ShadowSide cast, they can pretty much fit in with plushies, which I think is hilarious, because I almost did not notice Koma-san, that his camouflage was so good. I mean, it was spot on, and Koma-san was just being his light side self, and basically was hiding in plain sight. But Natsume scolds Michi, basically saying something akin to, like, "I don't need no knight, I don't need protection, leave me alone," and she ended up saying he was a stalker, just like everyone else did. And there's a huge difference between, in my mind, what Michi does and comparing it to a stalker. Michi isn't quite stalker level. He's more like that overbearing big brother that you have to deal with, that is in your business because he cares about you and he loves you and wants you to have a good life. but at the same time, he just doesn't know his boundaries. And he isn't willing to kind of sacrifice his mild obsession in order to make sure you're protected or make sure you're safe. It's kind of weird whenever you think about the entire situation. But I do digress. Michi goes like pure white and it's like broken or shattered. Even G10 kind of infers a little bit of pity towards him in the tone that Junior used while talking about Michi, like in the scene that's right afterwards where it's Whisper, Junior, I think Koma-san and Jibanian are both there. Not 100% sure because I'm not looking at it right now. I just watched the episode with it fresh in my mind, trying to remember everything, but I do digress. We're moving on. Natsume runs into some shadowy energy, which turns out to be a Slimamander clone, kind of, aka Mitsumata Mitsuchi, who basically steals her. Michi hears her scream, runs after her after a little bit of a map gag, kind of. So, Michi arrives at the warehouse where Natsume is quote-unquote trapped and gets prepared to tussle or go one-on-one with Mitsumata Mitsuchi. We get some background, which is basically, hey, these two were friends. They played Ding Dong Ditch. They made graffiti spray paint. And they basically did what juvenile kids would do that are misbehaving. So as things went on episode-wise from this point, Michi decided he wants to be a hero. He doesn't want to be an evil yokai anymore. He wants to do what is right and what is good. Very admirable traits in Michi, which I'm always a big fan of a character who tries and fails because it's more relatable. Michi is by far the most relatable yokai, and I hate saying it like that, but Michi tries his very best and fails. There are people that do that in life, and to those people, you gotta keep going. There's no reason to stop. You gotta keep moving forward. Be like Michi. Keep going forward. So, Michi goes Hyper Michi, and Natsume interrupts the whole Hyper Michi suit, Hyper Michi shoes, Hyper Michi. I was gonna say something stupid, but I did not. And you're welcome, Internet. It's called I'm really tired and recording this when I shouldn't be. But I do digress. We go on. Hyper Michi punches him. Wasn't enough. Mitsumata flails on him and wrecks him. Jibanian shows up, unloads his Fist of Fury. Well, it's what I'm calling Fist of Fury because I can't remember the move name right off the top of my head here because I wanted to record this and not have it be any later than what it actually is, but that's beside the point. But as everything basically going on and occurring here, you got a lot of things in motion at this point with the characters that are on the scene. There's no Toma, thank God. Toma has other things to worry about because Michi needs to be in the spotlight. So Mitsumata Michi goes super Mitsumata Michi, and I say super, but he grows really, really big, and takes up the entire screen to a certain vantage point. Jibanyan tries attacking. His attack didn't work. Koma-san's attacks weren't really doing much. Michi's like, hey, I got this, boys. Jitan, turn into this teeter-totter, yo. And Jitan Jr. turns into a teeter-totter. I didn't know he could become a teeter-totter, but apparently teeter-totters. So Michi zaps something that looks like a... I want to say it's like a... It looked like glass to me, but it wasn't. It was like light white. It's like a faded white concrete. And he began to concrete himself. And Koma-san did his special attack and launched concrete Michi at Mitsumata Michi, or Mitsumata Mizuchi, who was then not really KO'd by him, but was at the point where he's like, I give up. Your philosophy and everything's right. As this is all going on, concrete, hyper Michi, amazing Michi is beginning to crack, beginning to shatter. And then poof, Michi completely shatters. Natsume is like, no, no, and runs over and like wraps her arms around the pile of rubble, crying. She cried earlier because Michi was trying his best to save her. But while this is happening, Michi isn't actually dead. He comes back to life and said, I am your knight. Or you said I am your knight. Woohoo! I added the woohoo there because I feel like Michi would have wanted it. So, to end this episode, it kind of ends on that happy note of Michi moving around in a funky, fresh way, being all happy, Natsume being kind of disappointed, but at the same time happy her friend is not dead. And then we get Haruya saying, I am Hime's knight, and he's all dancing around like Michi. So we now have the Shuden Doji counter, Michi. It's like, guys, we don't have to fear Shuden Doji. We have Michi. Michi basically counters Shuden Doji. Because Michi's like, you call that affection? Look at this. I'm a mind-numbingly amazing character who flaunts his love and affection in the face of his person that he loves so much. And what do you do, Shuden Doji? You don't really do that enough. You're not on the Michi level. Yes, there's a Michi level. I want to thank everyone for bearing with me with this being a little bit late. Thank you all so much for all of your support. I do appreciate you. And that's been it for this episode review. Have yourselves a wonderful morning, afternoon, and or evening. And thank you all for all of the amazing and wonderful support. Bye-bye.